Hey there again. I am replanting roots that I have had for a very long time. I'm going to get the holder so I can show everybody what I'm doing. Yep. So it's so much. Never stops. Hold on. It's never, never, ever, ever, ever stops. And I'm here for the excitement. Okay, so this plant here, oh, this plant I have had since 2001. 2001. I bought this plant. It was for Mother's Day weekend. Down on Broadway? No, not Broadway. I think I was on Thomas and Vesey Street. It was down in Lower Manhattan and overlooking where you could just see the beautiful towers when the towers were up. And it was one afternoon, one day at work that I had worked a little later. So, but I'm gonna put this in its little. I have to fill up the soil. I thought I ran out of soil, but no, I have the soil. Yes, so I had planted it and I had it rooting. I had the roots regenerate for about, they were in the water for about maybe, I want to say about 3 weeks. So more than enough time. You just have to be careful, Don't let them, once the roots start to grow and once you see the bud, well, once that bud starts budding, then it's time for you to bud yourself and back into bud it back into some soil. Yeah, this is that. I call this a wandering Jude. So anyway, I don't have no gloves on, but look at these hands anyway, because I've been doing work and I have to sleep with the gloves on so I could look like a queen. Because I have to be so dainty. Because if I'm not dainty, who's going to be dainty for me? I'm working on it. It's hard to be dainty when you're going to do everything. Well, I've always done everything, so who am I kidding? I'm just making a haha funny. Thank goodness. Oh, God. Thank goodness. I mean, I don't know. I see a lot of people, and I have to say, for women out there, a lot of women, well, people in general, but women more so, just don't doubt yourself. We're led to believe to doubt ourselves from internal dialogue that we've heard from those around us while we were in our developmental years, or just siblings, or maybe a teacher, just people that just don't think, they don't realize the weight of their words, especially for a kid. So yeah, this is I love this plant. This is like the plant I think that somebody, yeah, this looked like the plant that somebody tried to have delivered to me. It was my no, it wasn't my birthday. It was my dog. It'll be 1 year in June that I had to put my little pup down. Um, she was no longer a puppy, but anyhow, I got a plant delivered, and they said Patricia, and I was like, "You have a phone number?" And he said, "No, just Patricia." And he had the road. I was like, "Okay, Patricia, what? Just Patricia." And I was like, "Okay, well, whoever the sender was, thank you for the kind gesture." Um, yeah, that was strange, but strange things happen. We live in a strange universe, everybody. We really do. There's so much strangeness going on. Talk about strange. I made a video on my other channel. Um, I had a vulture, a falcon, in my tree, and it was the weirdest thing ever. I could not believe it. I was like, "What?" And I looked, and I was like looking again, and I zoomed in, and then I zoomed in on Google, and then I zoomed in on the bird, and then I zoomed in on Google, and then I zoomed in on the bird, and I was like, "Oh, wow, who's that?" So there was a falcon here. I was amazed. I couldn't believe it. And then I looked it up, and you have to be registered to have a falcon? Like, what? Okay. That was just a trick. That was like totally like, what? The falcon. Am I a member of the Falcon Club now? Okay, a little bit of water. I put some eggshells in there. I have my eggshells, see? And you can actually take your eggshells, don't throw out your eggshells. You can grind them up and make fine powder, and you can put it in applesauce, a yogurt, or a fruit. You can put it in a beverage. Yeah, there's a lot of protein, a lot of nutrients. Yes, so the what's in here helps with the plant. It helps the growth, promotes growth. I was a botanist. It's just things you learn, just watching and learn. I told the story about when I was a kid. I put the egg in kindergarten. We learned about how the egg became how the chick, how the egg became a chick. Then the chick became a bird. Then the bird flew, and then the bird mated with the other bird, and then had more chicks. And then the cycle continued. So I took an egg, and I put it in my drawer. And then my mother, after a while, my mother smelled the rotten egg, and she asked me, she wanted to know further information. And I told her about the egg. And then I showed her the egg, and she said, "No, well, you have to have heat." And I said, "Well, my socks keep my feet warm, so that's heat, Mom." And she just said, well, "It's like, no, you have to use the lights like they have in school." So I was like, "Oh, they have, there you go." The moral of the story is we learn a lot. You learn what you see, especially as a kid. So, and words have weight. So teach the kids well, and hopefully they'll be well. You never know what happens once you let them out. Like once they're out of your hand, like I told that to my son. I said once you're no longer like within my eyes where I could see you. Then you're out in the world, and I have to just let your hand go. I remember when he got accepted into art and design high school, and I was terrified of him going on the subway. And I was like, "Don't look at anybody in the eyes. Don't look at anybody. There's a lot of people on the subway. There's a lot of little like a lot of characters." And he was like, "Mom, I know. Don't worry, I'm all right." Yeah, but that happened. But yeah, Kids learn. Kids learn. Kids learn what they see. All right. Anyhow, so that's done. I am replanting a plant. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. So there we go. There she is. There she is. Oops. 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 And then I have the roots from my cactus. Oh, it's not a cactus. There's another name for it. See that? I'm letting this, because the roots were actually very dehydrated. So I didn't break off the dehydrated ones. I'm just waiting for the new growth to start, and then once the new growth starts, and I'll purge the dead ones. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Just plants. Just plants. And that's it. That's all she wrote right now. That's all she wrote. Okay. Oh, I Pepto Bismol because I was feeling bubbly. My stomach. Well, no. Well, the stomach, yeah, having issues. Not bubbles, more than bubbles, but I wish that was it. But that, yeah, and I'm gonna put a drug design on it. And that's it. Everybody, have a good one. Till next time. Stay well, stay safe, stay hydrated, and always do the right thing with keeping a watch. Have a good one. Bye.